What's crack, Black and Collectors? Collect Tyrant here again today, and today is the Sunday session, and today I've got questions and answers for you guys. Really can't wait for this, guys. I really can't wait for it. I really love doing this stuff, talking back with you guys and all that jazz. So today we're going to get into that. So stick around, and for any questions asked, hopefully I can give you the right answers. Right, guys, so here we are. We've got the questions and answers on a Sunday session. I really can't wait to get into this. But first I want to show you guys something. I just want to show you a little drawing I did of Nidorino. I'm really starting to get into my colouring and stuff like that. Not really good at colouring. I put this up on Instagram, but it didn't turn out the best. If I'm being honest, it didn't turn out the best. The upload made it look all pixelated and stuff. So yeah, guys, if you want to see more art, if you want to check out my Instagram, I'll leave a link in the description and you guys can check that out if you wish. But now we're moving on to the questions and answers. This is something I really can't wait. Also, before I do that, I want to let everyone know that I'm not in my usual space here. I'm at someone else's house to do this video. So as you know, you probably see behind you, there's tons of fairy type things and pretty stuff. That's not really my vibe, guys. But as I said, bear with that. And also, if I miss any questions, let me know in the comments, please. I hate missing out. I hate people missing out. And I'll give those questions out next time. I'm pretty sure I got everyone, but I'm hoping that I didn't miss anyone. And just know that I didn't do that on purpose. I must have just missed it. Alright guys, so we've got quite a few questions here actually when I'm thinking about it, which is really good because this is what I hope for. I love tons of questions to talk about. So we're going to talk about them today, and we're going to start with Zapdos's Hangout. And that's Neve, used to be Neve the Sandshrew. And she asks, what was your first Pokemon card, if you can remember? Alright, so I've mentioned this a few times in a few videos. My first ever video, and just I think a few weeks ago when I did the Pokemon 1999 thing, like the reaction video, my first ever card was Nidoran from base set. I spent 20 cents on it, I think, lunch money, for a guy who had all these cards, and he gave me it for 20 cents. That was my first ever Pokemon card when they first ever came out in 1999, and after that I was hooked. So yeah, guys, that's my first ever card. My first ever card was Nidoran, out of all Pokemon. So that's yeah, clarified now. Hopefully everyone knows that. Yeah, that's a really long time ago now that I think about it. Alex Lopez asks, what is your favorite Pokemon character? Now I'm guessing this isn't actually a Pokemon, because everyone should know what my favorite Pokemon is by now, and that's Tyrant. So I'm gonna go with character as in human character, and that would have to be Giovanni. Giovanni, the mafioso, the Team Rocket leader from Gen 1. Now, the reason I like this guy so much is because I used to love the show Sopranos, and I really got into the whole mafioso lifestyle. I really enjoyed it, the dark, like, criminal lifestyle they had. And then I sort of liked Giovanni even more after that, I think. If people know about mafiosos, they sort of have this legitimate business, and then they have their other business, which is more darker. And I like that about Giovanni in the Pokemon world, because he had, you know, his Team Rocket, he had all that set up, you know, his mob, I guess, and then he had a legitimate business in, you know, having a gym and being a gym leader. And he's the last gym leader you fight in the Kanto region to get the, I think it's the, is it the Earth Badge? I can't remember. I think it might be the Earth Badge. But yeah, I really like that concept. They threw that into a kid's game, and back then you didn't know much about it. He's just a bad guy. But as you get older, you start to realize that this guy is, you know, is a bit darker than what you think it is. I really like Giovanni, guys. Giovanni is the man. I really like him. He's very mysterious and definitely my favorite Pokemon character, human character. Alright, so the next question is from Pokemon Kanto. Do you play video games? If so, would you ever do video games? Alright guys, so I do have a video game channel. It's definitely more adult content than that because I swear quite a bit in it, I'll be honest. But that is who I am. I don't like to think I'm a potty mouth, but I just feel more natural if I let a few words out. But I do have a channel on games. I don't really work on it as much as this channel. To me, that was more of a channel I made just to have a bit of fun with friends, and just go back and watch and think, oh, that was a good time we had together and stuff like that. I do love games, guys. Games is a big part of my life, as I'm sure many of you enjoy video games as well. But I don't think I'll put much up on that channel. I will in the future, but it's more for fun for me. But on this channel, I think I might do the new Pokemon game that we'll be dropping this year. I think I would really like to do that, and probably put it out not in the way of my usual schedule, just to sort of, you know, put it out there and just play through it and stuff. But as it is a collectible channel, I don't want to get in the way of my usual stuff. But yeah, it is a possibility I might bring a few games onto this channel, Pokemon related games or anything like that. if you want to go check that gaming channel out, it should be linked in my my legends list or my suggested channels. I've got tons of other people in there as well if you want to go check it out. But I warn anyone who's underage, I do drop a few F-bombs in there uncensored, so I don't want to get into trouble for that. So enter at your own risk, guys. Alright guys, so Libel, I think it's Libel or Libelli, asks, if you were to get big on YouTube, would you change anything? And what do you look forward to if that was ever to happen? So I think I wrote that down properly. I wouldn't really change much. I'd probably stick to what I'm doing now, pops and trading cards. I would like to add more things I do collect down the line because I do like collecting other things. But I wouldn't change much on the channel, I think. I just, you know, there's obviously fans here who like what I do. But I do want to show some other things I collect down the line too, but I don't want that to take over my usual stuff. And what do I look forward to if I ever were to get to that stage? I think merch would be really fun to make. I'd really like to design my merch and draw my stuff, like pictures and stuff, like on shirts and stuff like that, jumpers, hoodies. I really think that'd be really fun. But honestly, guys, I don't think I really changed too much about me as a person. I don't think having a ton of people watching me, I wouldn't like to, you know, get too much of a big head. I honestly said to myself, if I ever was to get massive, I would still always search for smaller channels that have talent and put them in the limelight. I still would do that. I still want to, you know, do shout outs and stuff, which I do now. I don't think that will ever change. But yeah, other than that, I don't think much would change, but I'd like to add tiny bits of things, other things in I like, if that makes sense. I hope I answered that question good enough, I guess. I guess. Alright, so another question comes from Alex Lopez. New York Toy Fair just released a bunch of new pops for future releases. Which ones are you looking forward to? I think that's all I wrote there. Alright guys, so I've checked that out. Some really cool pops coming out lately. I've seen the new Jaws pop. Man, that looks like a beast. Jaws is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm a big Steven Spielberg fan. And they're bringing a pop out of that beast, so I can't wait to get my hands on that one. I think Castlevania is they're bringing out new pops for them, or for that range. I really can't wait for those pops to drop. And some new Simpsons ones. Men in Black is another one that I'm really interested in, being a sci-fi fan. So yeah, some really interesting ones coming out. But those are the ones that really hit me a bit. There's a few other sports ones coming out that I'm interested in, like I'm a big NFL fan and stuff like that. So yeah, there's quite a few pops I really can't wait for, to be honest. I'll show you pictures down the bottom, guys, so you get the idea of what I'm talking about. But really good question, Alex. I love what you asked me. I really like that question. So hopefully that was a good indication of what I'm looking forward to. And let me know what you can't wait for too, man. I really like to hear it. Alright, so that nerdy family asked, how long have you been doing YouTube? And how excited were you when you hit 100 subscribers? Alright, so I've been doing YouTube for about 13 months now. Started last year. And when I hit 100 subscribers, I was over the moon. Like, I think I made a video when I hit 30 subscribers, and I was super stoked about that. Hitting 100 was massive. And I did a challenge video with one of my mates, Big Ted, and that's what I want to do with milestones and stuff like that if I get to a certain amount and do challenges. But I was really happy to get to 100, and I've been doing it for 13 months, so just over a year. So yeah, a bit of a grind, but I don't care, I'm enjoying it, it's fun. I like making videos, so yeah. Alright, so Shuttle Bunny asked, what do you plan to do in the future? So I asked him about this in the comments, and that was about the channel, and it sort of refers back to the last question I asked, but I want to put him in there as well. But as I said before, guys, I would like to show some Warhammer off and stuff like that down the track. Other things I collect, like Gunplas and stuff like that. I've got a few Gunplas I've made. But as I said, guys, I don't want to get in the way of my schedule, if that makes sense. But I do want to show other aspects of collecting and stuff like that, the things I like. Another thing I forgot to mention with the last question is I really want to interview people on their collections. And I had this idea. I've done one with Big Ted on his Pokemon cards, and they've got a few other people that I really like to interview about. Like, I think one of my friends collects Star Wars, the Black Series and stuff like that. I'd really like to do stuff like that as well. So that's something I should have answered in the last question, but you gave me the idea there. So there's a good answer to that question. That's something I'd really like to do as well. Do like little interviews with people about certain aspects of collectibles and stuff like that. That'd be really interesting, I think. Alright, so Squirtle Cards asks, hey mate, what is your best card you have in your collection? And also the rarest pop. Have a great week and can't wait for your next video. Alright, so best card could really mean anything, I guess. But I think the best card to me is my Nidorino, Beckett graded Nidorino I'll try and find it now actually. So that is probably the best card in my collection. Like best as in my favorite, this card, because I just love this card. It's not my favorite Pokemon or anything like that, but I just love this art. This art is the best art in the TCG in my opinion. And I just like it. I like the striking colors in it, and the artist is my favorite artist of all time, Ishiro Rita. And that's the best card in my collection to me. But I really do enjoy that card. Really beautiful card, this one, really awesome. And it's a Beckett 9 too, so it's a nice graded card there. So probably one of my favorite cards in my collection. Okay, so the rarest pop I got right now, I think the chase I found, I'll show you guys footage of that pop. I found a chase like last year. It's probably because chases are rare pops, guys. So I think I'd have to say that's probably my rarest pop. Anything chase wise is rare, so that would definitely be my rarest pop. I haven't seen many chases in my time. That's the first one ever, so I'd have to say that one. That's probably the rarest one I have. Alright, so Andy and Son Poke TCG asks, what is your favorite Pokemon set ever? And what is your favorite Pokemon typing? Really awesome question. Favorite set ever, man, what am I gonna ask you? Alright, so my favorite set ever, I have no idea. Like, when it comes to nostalgia, anywhere from base set to probably Sky Ridge, I just love those sets. But I'd have to say my favorite set when it comes to art would have to be Team Rocket Returns. It's probably one of my favorite sets. I don't know why I like that set so much, but it stands out for me. Team Rocket Returns. And some of the Heart Gold, Soul Silvers sets were really beautiful art cards. There's tons of good arts in that set as well. I think Unleashed comes to mind when I think about that. They're probably my favorite sets when I don't be biased, I guess, to my original nostalgic sets that I started off as a kid. So those two, Team Rocket Returns and Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Unleashed. Loved it. Really awesome sets. And my favorite Pokemon typing would have to be Poison type. I play the games competitively and I really love poisoning my opponent and stuff and watching their health drop with Toxic and stuff like that. I really think Poison types are just nasty typings. Like there's tons of snakes in the Poison typings, and snakes are my favorite animals, so I just love pythons and stuff. And I'm a big fan of Muck and stuff like that too. So yeah, guys, I'd have to say Poison is my favorite typing when it comes to Pokemon typings. Alright guys, so this comes from Cardboard Cravings, and a really good question. And that is, what is your favorite Warhammer figurine and why? Really love to see the best painted figure you have. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my stuff here. I do have all my stuff in boxes. Probably show you guys my best painted fig down the track. But I have to say my favorite figure of all time was the classic, the Archeon. You know, Archeon on the horse that came out in the early 2000s. Still one of my most favorite design miniatures ever made by Games Workshop. I just think it's a beautiful piece of art. And it was a joy to paint back in the day as well. That's definitely my favorite Warhammer fig, or I guess you call it Age of Sigma now. 40k wise would be probably Typhus. I got too many actually. Typhus, I got some Dark Angels, like, you know, characters. And I have to say Abaddon's really nice too. And I can't wait for the new Abaddon, guys. There's a new miniature coming out in that one. So that's definitely my favorite figs. I'll show you pictures in the corner of ones that come to mind that I can't think of right now. But definitely Archeon was definitely probably the best made by Games Workshop, I think, in my opinion. That specific model I'm thinking of in my head. Definitely my favorite. Alright, so next question is from Milltown Pokemon Gym. The question is, what is your most expensive pop and Pokemon card? Alright guys, so when it comes to pops, I'd have to say anything I have vaulted, collection wise. If anything's been vaulted, that means they don't make them anymore, like my Viking pops. But I do believe the Grunt pop from Mass Effect, the one I have, that's the most expensive one I have to date, I think. I think it's like worth around $300, so quite expensive. And for Pokemon cards, anything shining, I have a lot of shining cards. You've probably seen them in the start of my videos and stuff. And crystal cards, I have quite a few crystal cards from the older sets as well, so E-Series sets. So yeah, so it'd be a bit hard to determine exactly how much those cards are worth, because some of them are in better condition than others, etc. I'll probably have to get someone to look at them. But yeah, definitely any of those cards are definitely my most expensive. And the Grunt pop from Mass Effect is the most expensive pop I own. So there's the answer to that question. Alright, so the next question is from Shuttle Bunny again, and that is, what camera and what do you edit with? So what camera I use and what do I edit with? Alright, so I use this sort of, I don't know if you can see that. That's the camera I use. I actually use the handheld for all my stuff. It's a 4K one. And I think the code on that is HCVX985M. I think I got that right. And that is a Panasonic. And that costs quite a bit of money. I think that was nearly $1,000. And the program I use is Adobe Premiere Pro. And that costs $40 a month. So yeah, that's what I do to edit my stuff and what I use to edit. And plus this webcam here I'm talking to right now. I got that from Aldi, a shop here in Australia. So that's just all the stuff I use and all the editing programs I use as well. All right, so Pokemon Square asks, what is your favorite Pokemon set and Pokemon game? So that's already been answered, but they also asked me what my favorite game was, which is a really good question. As I said, nostalgia to me takes over my bias. I have to say Yellow was my favorite as a kid, and I'm gonna have to say Black and White for the storyline. Pokemon Black and White, the storyline was really deep. And I really think Game Freak gave us old fans something to really play through and enjoy. And I really like the storyline on that. So that's probably one of my favorite storyline wise, but I think when it comes to all hands down, we take away the bias from nostalgia, Ruby and Sapphire. And the reason I talk about this is because I picked those games up. I had no idea what Pokemon were in those games. And it was like this new feeling of playing a Pokemon game. I had no idea what was in it. I caught certain Pokemon that evolve into things I wouldn't expect. And it's the only time I really felt like there was some mystery in a Pokemon game for me. And I really think for the new generation, I'm going to try and stay away from leaks because I want that same feeling again, I think, when I play a game, because I really like it. And I really want to do that. Yeah, I just really want to enjoy a Pokemon game and not know what things turn into and stuff like that. But definitely Emerald and Ruby, definitely for their time. Funny enough, being a Gen 1er myself, starting out Gen 1 is definitely the best games ever made by Game Freak, in my opinion. Alright, so Chilean Steven asks, what card would you like to see printed or reprinted? That's a really good question. I'd really like to see a Rainbow Rare Tyrantrum. I'd really like to see a Rainbow Rare Tyrantrum card printed. And when it comes to reprinting, I'm trying to think about that. I think like some of the Shining cards would be really good. I'd really like to see some new Shining cards, like reprinted Shining cards. I don't know if they'll ever do that or something like that in the future, but I really like those Shining cards that had the texture. They had the texture back then, but it was inside the Pokemon itself and not the actual card, if that makes sense. I'd really like to see that come back. I really think that'd be really awesome. So there's the answer, guys. I'd really like to see some Shining cards come back in the future. Alright, so Alex Lopez asks again, after Pops and cards, what else do you like to collect? Alright, so I like to collect Gunpla. I like to build and collect Gunpla. I've actually got a few on me at the moment, some Gunpla. You know, I like building these. I love the anime as well. I just love Gunpla, guys. Really cheap too. When you compare it to other models, really cheap. They're really good quality for what they are, what they cost. So I really like the Gunpla. I like collecting those and painting them. Warhammer is another one. I started off with Warhammer and stuff like that. There's a few other Star Wars figurines I like to collect because I like to play the tabletop games and stuff like that. I like to collect hats too. I used to have a really cool hat collection, cap collection. But unfortunately I lost that. Unfortunately I don't have as many caps as I'd like to, and that's another thing I like to collect too, is caps, funny enough. But yeah, I like to collect heaps of things as well. I'd have to show you guys down the track, I think. But we'll get there eventually. Alright, so Shuttle Bunny also asked, and this is funny, he asked if I had a sink. Yeah, I think he legit was joking when he said that. I don't have a sink currently at the moment. As I said, I'm sort of not living in my own place. I do miss my old sink. It was a great sink. You know, got my hands nice and clean. But yeah, I don't have a sink currently at the moment. But I will get one soon. I'll get a sink. Alright guys, so I think that's all the questions asked. If I missed anyone, let me know in the comments please. I'll leave a timestamp for you guys if you guys want to just check out certain questions asked. I hope you really enjoyed the Sunday session, guys, and I really like doing this questionnaire thing. It was really awesome. Might go for a bit of time, but yeah, I really can't wait to do another one. I think I might do another one down the track when we get a bit bigger, but when that happens, that happens. And it's really good answering your questions, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Also, guys, I've got a Elite Trainer box coming out this week for the Pokemon cards. Just keep your eyes out for that, and I just want to let you guys know that. Pretty much it for the Sunday session, guys. We're going to leave it there, I think. Hopefully you guys had a really good weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright, Collector Tyrant out.